Hey, this is the FrSky X10S. After posting my video about the rear switch locations, apparently I'm not alone in feeling that these locations are just in bad places. That the average guy, even flying a neck strap or a tray or thumbs like I do, can't comfortably reach these switches without hitting the switches in front of them. I took the transmitter apart. I wanted to show that indent, that ridge that I was talking about. That ridge helps line up the switch with this plastic housing that goes over these switches. There's a groove in there, so that lines up with that ridge, and in this way the switch can't swivel around, so you don't actually have to over tighten the nut to put it in there. So it would make it harder to locate the switch at a 45 because you'd have to get rid of that ridge. So it seems like the best solution is to drill a hole and move it. So what I wanted to do was to get an idea of where I could move it. I cut out a balsa block. This block is about 13 by 12 millimeters, which is about the size of this switch. Because the switch is sticking out, it's not easy to figure out where you can put it and then still be able to close the case. The case does have an indentation in it that you have to watch out for. This indentation here goes in the case, so you have to compensate for that. That's going to go in the case. I haven't exactly measured it, but at least it's going to go in about 1/4 inch. So you want to make sure you accommodate for your switch location, that you don't bump the case. Otherwise you might have to cut a notch in it to clear the switch. So with the balsa block that I made, at least I get a general idea of where I think I can put the switch. Somebody just located the switch further back, which is a good idea. That definitely gets it more accessible if you put it back here somewhere. I would like to move the switch not only back, but more towards the outside of the case, so that it's really easy to get to. So here's the forward switch here, that thing with the red marker on it. I'm thinking about putting the switch here. And I might have to cut off a piece of that case because I want to have a little bit of a gap between those switches. So this is where I'm thinking about putting it. And I'll do this on the left and the right sides. And then I got to find a plug. The hole size for this is 6 millimeters. So we need to find plugs that are 6 millimeters in diameter. As far as the ridge goes, we're not going to have that. I guess it means tightening down on the nut closer, tighter, so it won't possibly swivel around. Or maybe even a drop of hot glue in there to make sure the switch doesn't move. Here's the switch itself. I'm also planning on moving these two switches. I would prefer the momentary on the opposite side, on the left side of the transmitter, as opposed to the right side. That's going to require some soldering to move the switches around.